YouTube, what's going on, guys? And today I am bringing you a brand new video. I'm sorry that you had to get up close and personal with the hand there. It was about to fall. But, so yeah. Today is the start of the day that we are going to be uploading daily. This is October 1st. We're going to be uploading daily all the way till December 31st. New Year's Eve. But yeah, so hopefully hopefully you guys enjoyed the ride, and hopefully we somehow make a 10,000 subscriber goal I set up to be at the beginning of the year. So yeah, let's get on into it. You clicked on the Recore review. I'm going to give you guys my honest opinions on Recore. So let me just give you a quick synopsis of Recore. You will play as Jewel, who is a girl in this place called Far Eden. You really don't know too much about the world besides that it went to hell and that you're kind of the only thing left, and that robots are corrupt. You can find some that have good intentions while some are bad and using for the wrong purpose. So then you'll set out on a place. Now you're going to set out to actually try to stop the robots from being bad, and you're going to have good robots to help you on the way. And the whole point of how they are bad, I guess, is the core. Like, I guess they infected the core. I don't really know too much, but let's talk about the game. Combat. Combat is fun, and it's in drilling. And thrilling to an extent. I'm sorry about being stuffy, guys. I really didn't want to be stuffy. I was actually considering doing it the night before because I felt like I was about to get stuffy, and because it's the first day of fall, so I'm kind of just dealing with some allergies. But the combat, anyway, is fun. It's good to an extent. It will get old after a little bit. The thing that holds this combat up is there are dungeons, and this is kind of a segue as well, but dungeons, there are combat dungeons that will go very fast-paced, and those are when the combat's very fun and exciting, because you're going to have to switch between yellow and blue and red and white, and all that kind of stuff. But the main object is always to try to grab the core so you can have materials to upgrade your characters or your robots as you go through the game. And so then the main point of the game is you'll be traveling through a lot of dungeons to capture prismatic cores. And prismatic cores are basically what you need to do to try to basically get to the final boss and stop this thing that is controlling robots. I guess. But it's the thing that, it's like the important thing. You have to have them. But throughout the game, you'll be collecting them through dungeons and even just places all across Far Eden that they've been stranded. And the dungeons are very well done. You can see the dungeons that were inspired by Keiji Inafune, and I'm going to say this right off the bat. Towards the end of the game, you will play like a 5-level dungeon, and this is where the game's at its best. Now, I do see where some people are getting off saying this because the last half of the game is so grind for prismatic cores. But I didn't necessarily have to do that. I just grinded out prismatic cores. After I did the first thing, I grinded them out, I did the math, and then I played 2 through the final levels, levels for the prismatic cores, and then I was just jaw-dropped on how great this is. But I can't see doing a level, going to go find for 5 more prismatic cores or something, and the game, you can easily see that. But I will say the game's very well done on those levels. The platforming is fair but challenging. The combat's very fun but challenging. And it's all this, when I say challenging, it's not like fuck you challenging. It's fair, and you can see the timing that you have to do and what you have to do there, but it's just so hard to connect, and then you'll be rewarded for it, and it's very well done. There are a lot of bugs in this game, I will say. One of my friends encountered a game-breaking glitch where you were in the bench to try to get your final robot, and if you leave it, then the game will not allow you to go back to try to get the robot. Now, granted, I will say that part of the glitch is technically, it's two sides of a coin here. It's 100% wrong for the developers to have it in or even have it there, but at the same time, when quality assurance was testing it, they probably just did hit the fucking button. They didn't go back. He was trying to go get Beck to go put into this fucking robot, and he really didn't need to have Beck. He could have just put Seth or Duncan and then gone to go back and switch them out, whatever the hell you like. But whenever they were testing it, they should have, but they didn't. And the thing that they had is that whenever you exit the bench, you can no longer go back into that bench to get it. And it's just something that happened. Now, granted, it didn't happen during my play session, but it was something that should have been checked. So, the game, though, overall, is very, very fun. I enjoy this game. And I know a lot of people say shit about it, and there's a lot of legitimate gripes to it. And honestly, if this final back half wasn't so well, I would have not been rating what I'm going to be rating it. But if you did what I did, then you see the greatness that was trying to be put into this game. And the platforming is superb. You can easily tell that Keiji Inafune did this platforming, and it's fun and fair and very well done, and I really enjoy it. The platforming is the best part about this game. And there are some instances where I do believe that they should put a lot more of the platforming in than the combat, so that way the platforming feels, or the gunplay, or the meat of the game, the gun, the combat feels a lot more fresh when you do it, and feels challenging enough when done. And even when you go into those things, the dungeons are the best part to play as the combat. The dungeons are the best place. If you were just fighting out in the wild, it becomes more of a chore than anything else. I will say that this game is very well done, and I did enjoy Recore. I can't tell you 100% if I would go back or not. I do see myself going back to get the rest of the prismatic cores. I do see myself eventually maybe doing that, just to probably get my 1,000 gamer score, because I'm really close to doing it. But the game doesn't have that high of replay value, unless you're a massive Keiji Inafune fan. And I don't think this game is getting... It deserves some of the hate that it's getting. One of the big gripes with this game is that the world's too big for its own good, and I 100% agree with that. The map is too big. I see what they were trying to feel, that you're in this wasteland, but that's almost not even really necessary. The thing that makes a great open world huge is there's so much shit to do in it. GTA 5 is the best example on it. Look how huge that map is, but look at how much shit there is to do in it. You can't have a massive open world and then not have anything to do in it. It's just not how it works. Look at Just Cause. Massive open world, but there isn't that much to do in it. I don't want to ramble on too much, guys, but I've given you basically the synopsis of the game. Jewel and her robots will have to find out or set out to Far Eden to... Oh my god, I am fucking just so stuffy. I'm sorry, guys. We'll set out on Far Eden to try and stop these robots from going crazy and taking over. And you as the player will try and stop. And I'm going to give Recore a 7 out of 10. And I know that will come as shocker or maybe something, but I agree with IGN on this. And I rarely agree with IGN ever. This is probably one of the first times I actually agree with their rating. This game's fun. And what helps it is a $40 price tag, and developers need to be aware of it. Ratchet and Clank did it, and I thought I would have paid $60 for fucking that game. I would have paid $60 for Ratchet and Clank and been A-O-fucking-K with it. I loved Ratchet and Clank. But Recore had itself, especially with how short the game is, but as long as there is a lot of gameplay at the end, there's a lot of replayability to come back if you are a fan of the game, to come back and try to get all the prismatic cores. So the game is worth its $40 price tag. I can definitely see where you would go from there. And the combat's fun, and the platforming is superb. It shows that Keiji Inafune can still do it, but needs help along the way. Now, the combat could have been better, and I do see that sort of coin, but it's still fun, especially while in dungeons. They're really superb. Arena dungeons. Not all dungeons. The, full, combat. That's 100% what it is. Just combat. There's no platforming involved. It's just pure combat, and that's when it shines, because it gets chaotic, and it's very well done. So, that's why I'm going to end this video, guys. Have a good one. Do all that YouTube stuff. Favorite, share, comment, most importantly, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And go buy Recore if you do own an Xbox One. I can recommend it. And I'll see you guys. Peace.